Welcome to I Am Able. We are kicking off our new podcast series because March is National Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. This month is intended to raise awareness about the inclusion of people with disabilities and the trials and successes they face on a daily basis. According to the CDC, 61 million adults in the United States live with a disability. 26%, or about 1 in 4, of all adults in the United States have some type of disability. For those fortunate enough to have a job, their annual salary only is about $15,000. Transition Adult Services, a program of the Institute for the Redesign of Learning, supports 34 clients working throughout the community. We kick off our series with interviews from 3 adult clients supported by Transition Adult Services.
Perfect.
Can you hear my dog next door in that?
No.
Okay, good.
All right, good.
Of course, as soon as you were going, he was like, woof, woof, woof.
Of course, that's what we'd always have. Hi there, I'm Jamie Lord Tovar, and today we are with Mary Flynn. And Mary, tell me a little bit about yourself.
My name is Mary Flynn.
Where do you work?
I work at the Lanterman Regional Center, and I've been working there since for 18 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I've been working educating the adult clients there on either the health and wellness or being safe from sexual abuse or being disaster prepared.
Oh wow, that's really cool. So how did you get that job? How did that come to happen?
Well, Lanterman and UCLA started a pilot project to introduce a class specific to the women's needs, women clients' needs,
okay,
on how to be better prepared and how to deal with your reproductive health. I was part of that program, and then it evolved into another class, which is our abilities class, which is basically how to reduce one's risk of being sexually abused and getting the tools on not being sexually abused. And then it went into another class as well as disaster preparedness. So my job there is just to teach the clients.
Oh, cool. So you were a client yourself first, and then
yeah, I am still a client.
Oh, okay. So you're still a client, and they said, "Hey, you're doing such a good job that we'll have you."
Yeah, I can fit in because I can speak in front of a class.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took a while. I tried taking speech in college, but somebody said, try theater. I did. Oh. I took community theater, had been in 14 plays since, and I can speak in front of people.
Oh, wow. That's really neat. So you went to college?
Yes.
Where did you go to college at?
PCC.
I love PCC.
Yeah.
I went there too.
Yeah. And that's where I met my husband.
Oh, nice. So you're married. Do you have any kids?
I do not have kids, but we are no longer married, but we're the best of friends.
Oh, that's awesome. As long as you can stay friends, that's amazing. Nice. Yeah. So you said you've been in your job 18 years then, is that correct?
Yeah.
And what's your favorite part of your job?
I want to say making a difference.
Yeah.
I want to make a difference in not only my life, but it's the clients as well. That's what I want.
Oh, that's awesome. Excuse me. What advice do you have for others that are working, or maybe they're struggling at work?
Definitely communication. Communication is the key, and it's very tough, I know, to speak up for oneself and actually say, you know, this is not working for me. Can I try this? It's very hard for clients to speak up. You know, when you have doubt in yourself, should I speak up, or, you know, maybe, you know, I might not be heard. Definitely speak up. Advocate for yourself. It's important. You're
right, it is
important.
That's really good advice. Really good advice. So you said that you've been in 14 plays.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Can you name some of those for me? Do you remember the names of any of them?
Okay, yes.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Annie, let's see, The Miracle Worker. Let's see, what others? Oh my gosh, they go back so far, but yeah, just to name a few.
Just to name a few.
Yeah.
So what else do you like to do for fun in your free time?
In my free time, I like to craft.
Oh, really?
I've taken over my mom and dad's, what do you call it? I'm definitely a part of them. My mom paints and she sews, and they're very artistic, and so is my dad. He did drawings, and but I have a couple of my mom's paintings here at home, and yeah, and they're just a lover of the arts.
Okay, so what kind of crafts do you do? Do you do paintings also, or?
Not paintings, but I do create my own crafts. I may sew like my mom did. So I like making stuff. I have a whole bunch of stuff in my room that I'm sewing right now.
Okay, so you do a lot of sewing. Do you do any other crafts besides sewing, or is it mainly sewing?
I believe it or not, I like to organize.
Oh, really? Oh, you want to come to my house?
Sure, I can do it because everything around here has labels and labels and then labels. Yeah, I've had people come over here and say, oh my gosh, everything is in its place.
So how do you handle it? How do you handle if it's not in its place?
It gets in its place. I have to
back in.
Yeah. Everything has to have order.
I see. I think we all need to have a little bit more Mary in ourselves to be a little more organized. It sounds like to me. So are there any other things that you do? So, well, you do theater and you do sewing. Do you have other hobbies that you participate in, or that something else that you want to learn?
Well, other than going to school, learning sign language, and that's how I talk to my husband.
Oh, really?
He's deaf, so I know sign language.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Now, have you thought about teaching sign language, or is it?
Not teaching, but during my classes, I've had students and I can interpret while I'm teaching the class. So it's
so cool.
It's a thrill. so I can talk to them and they are able to listen.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. So do you speak any other languages besides American Sign Language and English?
No, I would love to learn a full spectrum of maybe Spanish, so I can teach this class in Spanish.
That would be nice.
Yeah, yeah, and there's a big need. There's a big need for it. So
have you thought about going back to like PCC and taking some Spanish classes, or?
I haven't, but I have the books. I have
all
the books.
So you self-teach? Yeah, why not? Sounds like you can do anything you put your mind to, Miss Mary.
Yeah, there you go. And I know there's this one thing that you can go online and look for Spanish, and you can I forget what it's called, but you learn that way.
Oh, right. Yeah, there's a lot of different, like Babbel and some of those other apps like that.
Yeah.
So you were saying that you have everything at your house is really organized.
Yes.
And you love your job. So what about your work or home life? What makes you the proudest?
My work life, well, I am proud because I get to work with my clientele that I love. And I'm proudest because I hope that I'm making a difference in their lives. I know I am.
I was going to say, from talking with you today, I think you are too. Yes. And
because of that, they're bringing it back to me. You know, my home life, it's the same. That I've got a great family. I've got great friends. And again, you know, I may be divorced, but man, to have a true friend, you know, right. It's nothing better.
That's awesome. So do you live alone, or do you live with somebody else?
I live alone. I've been living on my own since April 1st. April
Fool's Day. Wow.
April Fool's Day. But yeah, that's how long I've been living in this apartment. It's the safest place. It's really nice. The neighbors are wonderful. They check in on you, make sure everything's okay. And we keep an eye out for each other. So yeah, I really like where I'm at.
That's great. That's great. So where do you live?
I live, it's in Pasadena. And
okay.
Some may say, you live in Altadena. And that may be true too, because I'm an inch away from Altadena and Pasadena, so I'm right on the line. So
nice. It's a great area. Great area. So who do you go to for support?
I go to Robert, my ex, or I get support from my older siblings, or I have an ILS worker, independent living service instructor.
Okay.
And she's fabulous and wonderful. She's full of, you know, all the needs that I need.
So what does she help you with?
Budgeting and getting, you know, if I have issues with social services.
Okay.
Yeah. Trust me, that never ends.
Everyone needs an advocate. Everyone needs an advocate. So, yeah.
Yes. When you go to, well, this is before COVID, when you went to the office, they were speaking Greek. I know they were. And I'm like, I don't comprehend. And so Kathy was there and she was an angel.
So, so who are your biggest role models? It sounds like you might maybe for your parents, since you take after them with the artistic flair. Who else are your
definitely my parents, my family, but believe it or not, the role models I have are the communities in which I work.
Really?
The client, I have learned so much from them and their spirit and their willingness to continue. It's so inspirational. I think it's a wonderful. They are role models. We should always learn from them.
So how do you mean by just you said their spirit? So can you give some examples of what?
There's, well, is it like tenacity? I think I want to say.
Tenacity, okay.
Yeah. They have a big heart. This community has the biggest heart I know.
Right.
They're giving of themselves. We only ask so much of them, but they'll give even more.
Right. They give it their all, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they're honest, and they put it right out there.
Right, very upfront. Yeah, I like that too.
Yes, yes.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that. The clients are your role models. That's cool. That's really cool. So what advice would you give to others, like as far as following their dreams? Do you have any advice for others?
Follow them. Definitely follow your dreams. Somebody said to me once, jump to the stars, but you'll always land on the moon. So, I
like that. You
take that concept and you're going, yeah, I guess I can do that. I'll jump towards the stars, but I will land on the moon. So it's, always dream. Always go for your dreams. They are what makes you. If you do not dream, that means you don't take chances. You have to take chances in order to learn and become a better you. Right. Oh, that's great advice. That is great advice. Now, believe it or not, I have jumped out of an airplane. Really? Oh, can you tell me about that? Wow, that sounds really exciting. Yes, it was. And I did it at 4:00 in the morning. 13,000 feet. It's extremely cold up there. I can imagine. But the way it was presented to me is there was no way for me to be scared. I just said, let go and let God. And I jumped out and I had the biggest grin on my face and felt so peaceful and so freeing. It was
really
wonderful. Yes, yes. But my family has said, oh my gosh, the ones that have been in the service, they've said, I wish I could have jumped out of the plane. And I'm like, well, it was wonderful. So yes, yes.
How did you get that kind of opportunity? How did that even come about that you were able to jump out of the plane?
Believe it or not, the director of the miracle worker that I was in, I was Miss Sullivan, the teacher, which helped with the sign language. But he said, I'm going to go skydiving before we go on set. So we went on set on a Saturday, and believe it or not, I got a standing ovation.
Oh, wow. Man.
It was my best ever production.
Nice. I got chills when you said that. That's awesome.
It was wonderful. Yes. It was a perfect ending for the day. So,
wow. That sounds incredible. So, well, it sounds like you have a lot of interest and a lot of talents. So is there anything else that you want to tell me about that you're really good at?
I'm good at being me. Definitely. I am so good at being me.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you really like who you are? You like who you are?
I do. I have, the way I'm organized is, Thursdays I do theme night, only on Thursday.
What's theme night?
Theme night is if we have spaghetti and meatballs for dinner, we'll have spaghetti, not spaghetti, but we will have Italian music going, and
nice.
Italian apron, and things are looking very Italianish. We'll have the coffee at the end of dinner, and stuff like this. So I don't know.
Oh wow.
I've got this only on Thursday, so it makes it worthwhile to plan for Thursdays. And yeah.
Oh, that's neat. So you do that every Thursday, and you have dinner guests, I take it?
Yeah.
And is it the same people all the time, or
yeah,
you invite different? Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So who comes to your Thursday dinner parties?
Well, it's just one man right now, and it's Tony. He recently has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So it's that's the challenge right now, because I would like to find a support group or somebody to talk to about this. That's kind of my goal right now.
So where have you looked for supports for?
I've looked for support groups, and this was when he was first diagnosed, and that was before COVID, right before COVID. And the support groups were, you had to meet at 7. I can't make it from work and into Pasadena by 7. I barely get into Pasadena at 7. So it just didn't work. So I think I haven't looked, but I think I can look online and see if there's one support group online.
Okay.
Probably
we'll have to
now.
talk. We'll have to keep in touch. We'll have to talk later. Maybe I can help a little bit. I don't know, but we'll talk sometime after this about that.
Okay.
All right. So do you drive? Then you said
No.
how do you get around?
I take public transportation, access services, or Uber.
Oh, okay.
I do not drive because I have seizures.
Oh, okay.
And me jumping out of a plane.
Playing with a seizure. Oh, wow. Yeah, that was a little bit of a risk, huh?
I'm a risk taker. So
that's great. That's great. You have to be successful. You have to take risks. So, but wow, that's a huge one. A huge one.
Yeah. But I'm able to get around. So
yeah. So do you plan? Do you do a lot of planning to get around, or can you do just get your Uber app and you plan?
I have to plan. It's I'm very popular for some reason. Somebody needs me here, somebody needs me here, or I need to go to that place and this place, but I have to make it in. This is so long.
Right.
So it has to be, it definitely has to be timed correctly.
Got you. And so you're able to do all that on your own, planning the transportation and everything. Okay. All right.
I learned that back in high school.
Oh.
I went to La Cañada High, and back then there was only one bus.
Oh, wow.
That took us you'd have to catch it to Foothill, but we lived 3 or 4 blocks from Foothill. So we had a lot of walking to do. But yeah, and take one bus. And if you miss it, oh, well, you are out.
Oh, no.
It only came every hour.
Oh, no. So you're going to be really late then if you missed it.
Yeah.
So, really late.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So we had talked earlier about you were going to tell me about how what your experience with having a job coach.
Yeah.
Can you tell me some about that? I think we've covered all of our other questions at this point.
The job coach.
How long have you had the job coach?
At the beginning of the work, I had, like I was telling you, for the pilot stage we had, it was UCLA and Lanterman developing this reproductive health program. I had a job coach then, but it was through UCLA. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I had a couple of different job coaches. They didn't last very long. So I actually was trying to work on my own for a while. And I could say that got kind of overwhelmed. Okay. So, I had to ask for help, and so my SC then called and said, do you mind having the ones from the redesign learning? I'll try them, sure.
Okay.
And, yeah. And the last two service coordinators I've had, they have been amazingly supportive. They deserve angels' wings.
Oh, that's very sweet.
So they are. I have learned so much during COVID, how to work with a computer.
Yes, I think we've all learned about Zoom at this point. Yes.
Yes, it's but
experts, right?
yeah, I've actually established or put together a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation for all of my classes.
Oh, wow.
And my boss was all thumbs up. She liked all of them. And so I thought, oh, this feels good.
Yeah.
And so, believe it or not, during COVID, I've been actually teaching, doing.
Oh, nice. You've been doing video conferencing?
Yeah, yeah. So I just had ended one of my classes this Tuesday. So.
Oh, wow. So how many students do you do it? Is it a group or is it like is it one-off? It's a group.
It's a group. It's a group, usually up to 5 students.
Oh, wow. And so what are the age ranges for the students that you they're all
they have to be adults at least.
So they're all adults
over. But usually they're like 25. I've had 50 or 60, and you know, it's
so different.
It's great. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and what was this last class was on? What were you teaching?
I was teaching the abilities class on sexual abuse and risk reduction.
Okay.
Yeah. So how to, you know, giving them the tools to be aware.
That's important.
Yes, yeah. Yes. Very aware.
All right. Well, Mary, we've gone through all of the questions I had. Is there anything else that you want to let everybody know about?
Did we really go through all the questions?
You want to go back through them? We can look to see.
We asked, where do you work? Yes. And how are you happy at your job? I love my job. I enjoy it. And we talked about any advice, communication. What do I like to do for fun? Yeah. Yeah. These are all the questions. I believe you now. Believe it.
I was hoping there was more because you're fascinating. I mean, I'm just really interested in you, and you know, you're helping others, and I just think it's really great that you're able to give back so much, you know.
Okay, you know what my first job was?
What?
Providing respite to children, to parents of children with special needs.
Really?
So it was a sitter. I was a sitter, and working with that community was my calling from day one.
Really? You knew it?
Yes, I knew it. I stuck with it because I worked with, as a sitter for those who have special needs. I worked with the deaf, the blind, the speech impaired, and now the clients who are special needs.
Right.
And this is what I do, and this is what I am good at.
We're very lucky to have you in the position that you're in. Yes, you're definitely a light.
Thank you.
All right. Well, if that's all that we can think of for now, I guess we can go ahead and I'll say thank you so much for spending this time with me. I really appreciate it. It was very nice to meet you and talk with you, and I'm sure that everyone's going to be fascinated to hear what you've had to say. Again, thank you so very much.
You're welcome. And thank you for letting me be a part of this.